The police chief's son, Cody Thompson, was walking into Judge Caprio's courtroom as if he owned the building and everyone working there. When he stepped into the courtroom, it was as if the laws didn't own him. He owned the laws. He was wearing a gold chain, designer jeans, and $1,000 shoes. The look on his face seemed to say, "I'm untouchable, nobody can mess with me," because his father was the Providence police chief. So, if you were wondering why this young man was here, let me explain right now. He had threatened to end the career of a rookie officer because the officer dared to write him a ticket, even after hearing his father's name. He came to court with that same arrogance. What was going through his mind as he arrived was that he'd get out of this just by mentioning his father's name, and in the end, he'd walk out laughing. He even dared during the hearing to look Judge Caprio right in the eyes and say the laws didn't apply to him because his father ran the police. In fact, his plan was working. But what he forgot, what he didn't know, was that in Judge Caprio's courtroom, privilege and money had no standing against justice. The reaction you are about to witness from Judge Caprio isn't just a punishment. It will be the most devastating lesson on privilege and arrogance ever recorded. So, having listened this far, haven't you wondered how the truth will come out? Now let's get into it. If you've watched this far, I'd say don't miss the end of the video. Like the video, lean back, and dive into the story, because what you are about to witness will be the showdown of spoiled privilege against unbreakable justice. Enjoy. It's Tuesday morning at 10:45 a.m. in the Providence Municipal Court. The bailiff announces the state of Rhode Island versus Cody Michael Thompson. Cody walks in, looking like he's used to people treating him differently because of his family. Judge Caprio looks up from his bench with his characteristic respect and dignity. "Good morning, Mr. Thompson." Cody gives a casual nod. "Morning, Judge." No, Your Honor, no formal respect, just the easy familiarity of someone who expects special treatment. Judge Caprio notices the casual disrespect, but maintains his professional composure. "Mr. Thompson, you're charged with reckless driving and intimidation of a law enforcement officer. The complaint alleges that during a traffic stop, you threatened Officer Martinez with professional retaliation. How do you respond to these charges?" Cody leans back in his chair with a dismissive smile. "Look, Your Honor, I think there's been a serious misunderstanding here. If you want to save everyone some time, you could just give my dad a call, and we can clear this up in about 5 minutes. Mr. Thompson, this is a court of law. We don't resolve criminal charges through phone calls to family members." Cody's smile becomes more condescending. "Sure, I get that this is supposed to be all official and everything, but realistically, my dad runs the police department that brought these charges. Everyone involved answers to him eventually." Judge Caprio's expression grows more serious. "Mr. Thompson, are you suggesting that your father's position should influence how these charges are handled?" "I'm suggesting that context matters," Cody responds with casual arrogance. "Officer Martinez is new, right? Probably still learning how things work around here. I was just trying to help him understand the bigger picture about who he should and shouldn't be hassling." People in the courtroom react with surprise at his entitled attitude. Judge Caprio reviews the police report. "Mr. Thompson, according to Officer Martinez's report, you were traveling 68 miles per hour in a 35-mile-per-hour residential zone. When he pulled you over, you allegedly became verbally aggressive and made threats about his career. Is that accurate?" Cody shrugs like he's discussing the weather. "I was running late, so yeah, I was driving fast. But that neighborhood is dead at night. No one was around. As for threats, I didn't threaten anybody. I just explained who my father is and suggested Martinez might want to use better judgment about what stops are worth his time." "Better judgment?" "Yeah, like maybe focusing on actual criminals instead of harassing the police chief's son over going a little fast on an empty street." Judge Caprio takes a deep breath. "Mr. Thompson, you believe your father's position entitles you to different treatment under the law." Cody looks genuinely surprised by the question. "Doesn't it? I mean, that's how the real world works, right? The chief's son gets pulled over, the officer realizes who he is, and everyone goes home happy. So you think speeding laws don't apply to you?" "I think they should be enforced intelligently," Cody responds with growing confidence. "My dad didn't climb the ranks for 20 years just so some rookie could write tickets to his family." Subscribe to Judge Stories if you believe no family name should place anyone above the law. Judge Caprio's patience is clearly being tested. Mr. Thompson, let's review the body camera footage from Officer Martinez's patrol car so we can hear exactly what was said during this traffic stop. Cody straightens up slightly, but his confident smirk remains. Sure, let's watch it. You'll see that Martinez completely overreacted. The monitors show footage that would soon go viral. Cody's sports car weaves through quiet residential streets after midnight, barely slowing at stop signs. When Officer Martinez turns on his patrol lights, Cody leads him on a short chase before stopping in front of a nightclub. Officer Martinez approaches professionally. "Good evening, sir. License and registration, please." Cody's response is immediately confrontational. "Do you know who you pulled over?" "Sir, I need to see your license and registration." "I'm asking if you know who I am." Cody's voice carries clear intimidation. Cody hands over his license with obvious irritation. "Look at the name, officer. Thompson, as in Chief Thompson, as in your boss's boss." Officer Martinez maintains professional composure. "Mr. Thompson, I clocked you going 68 in a 35 zone. That's serious speeding in a residential area." "Serious speeding?" Cody laughs, sounding mocking. "Martinez, right? Let me explain something. My father runs your department. Every promotion and assignment you get goes through him." "Sir, I'm just doing my job." "Your job is to use good judgment about who deserves harassment and who doesn't. You're about to write a ticket to the police chief's son for driving fast on an empty street. Does that sound like good judgment to you?" Officer Martinez continues processing the stop. "Sir, the speed limit applies to everyone regardless of family connections." Cody's tone turns threatening. "Family connections? This is about respect. You can tear up the citation, pretend this never happened, and go find real criminals. Or you can decide you know better than the chief's son and see what happens to your career." "Are you threatening me, sir?" "I'm educating you," Cody says coldly. "Officers who show loyalty and respect get rewarded. Those who don't might end up with the worst shifts, traffic duty in the rain, or filing in the evidence room. You get the idea." "Sir, I'm going to issue you a citation for excessive speed." Cody's voice becomes ice cold. "Martinez, that citation disappears right now, or I guarantee you'll spend the rest of your short career explaining to my father why you thought it was smart to hassle his family. You really want to find out what happens when rookie cops don't show proper respect?" "I'm writing the citation, sir." "Write whatever you want," Cody snarls. "Just remember that when you're working security at shopping malls next year, I tried to help you make the smart choice." Judge Caprio pauses the video. The entire courtroom has witnessed this performance in stunned silence. Cody appears completely unbothered, adjusting his gold chain. "Mr. Thompson," Judge Caprio begins carefully, "you've just watched yourself explicitly threaten a police officer's career for doing his job. How do you explain this behavior?" Cody straightens confidently. "Your Honor, that footage shows exactly what I told you. A rookie officer who doesn't understand how to prioritize appropriately. I was trying to help Martinez learn what kind of stops are worth pursuing." "By threatening his livelihood?" "By explaining reality," Cody insists. "In any organization, there's an informal hierarchy based on relationships and respect. Martinez needed to understand where he fits." Judge Caprio's voice could cut steel. "Mr. Thompson, what you're describing isn't hierarchy, it's corruption." "Corruption?" Cody seems genuinely offended. "Your Honor, with respect, I think you're misunderstanding the situation. My dad didn't work for 20 years. To reach chief so that rookie officers could waste resources hassling his family over minor infractions." "Minor infractions? You were driving nearly twice the speed limit through residential neighborhoods." "On empty streets where nobody was in danger," Cody responds dismissively. "It's not like I was running down pedestrians. I had complete control, and the only person who got hurt was Martinez's feelings." Judge Caprio takes a deep breath. "Mr. Thompson, let me ask you directly. Do you believe traffic laws apply to you?" Cody pauses, then delivers an answer that will be studied in police academy ethics courses. "Your Honor, I believe laws should be enforced with discretion and common sense. When the police chief's son gets pulled over for minor speeding, the smart officer recognizes that this isn't the hill to die on. My father has dedicated his life to law enforcement, and hassling his family shows a fundamental lack of respect for his service. So that's a no." You don't think these laws apply to you? I think they should be applied intelligently, taking into account who's being cited and what the broader implications are for department morale. Judge Caprio has clearly reached his breaking point. Mr. Thompson, based on the video evidence of your threats against Officer Martinez, your complete absence of remorse, and your demonstrated belief that your family name exempts you from legal consequences, I'm prepared to impose penalties that will teach you the difference between respect and fear. Cody's confidence finally wavers. Penalties? Your Honor, this is obviously a first offense, and no actual harm was done. No harm. You attempted to corrupt a police officer and undermine law enforcement integrity. Judge Caprio's next words make the courtroom hold its breath. For reckless driving at nearly twice the speed limit in a residential zone, I'm imposing a fine of $7,500. Cody barely reacts. His family has money. For intimidation and attempted corruption of a law enforcement officer, an additional fine of $10,000. Still no concern, Daddy can handle the bills. I'm also suspending your driving privileges for 2 full years. Now Cody shows worry. 2 years, Your Honor, that's completely excessive for a traffic violation. This isn't just a traffic violation, Mr. Thompson. This is about corrupting the very system your father has dedicated his life to serving. But Judge Caprio isn't finished. And since you seem to believe that wearing a badge is about privilege rather than service, you're going to learn what police work actually involves. Cody's arrogant facade starts to crack. What do you mean? You're sentenced to 150 hours of community service, specifically working in the evidence storage facility at police headquarters, cataloging and organizing case files under the supervision of the officers you've shown such contempt for. Cody's mouth drops open. Working at the police station like manual labor. Every Saturday for the next year, you'll report to the evidence supervisor at 6 in the morning and spend 8 hours learning what real police work is. You'll do the tedious, unglamorous tasks that keep the justice system running. 6 a.m. on Saturdays. Cody's voice cracks. Doing filing and cleaning? People will see me there. Mr. Thompson, being seen performing honest work in service of justice might teach you something about the honor that police work actually requires. Cody jumps to his feet, his cool completely shattered. This is insane. You can't make me work in some basement evidence room like a janitor. My dad will have this overturned. Your father built his reputation on integrity and service. Your behavior has dishonored both him and the badge he wears. This is discrimination. You're punishing me because of who my father is. Judge Caprio's response cuts through Cody's protests. Mr. Thompson, I'm punishing you precisely because of who your father is. He dedicated his life to building trust between law enforcement and the community. You used his name and reputation as weapons to corrupt and intimidate. Cody's face turns red with rage. I wasn't intimidating anyone. I was just explaining how things work. What you were explaining, Mr. Thompson, is exactly the kind of corruption that destroys public trust in law enforcement. The reality finally begins to sink in. Your Honor, please. I'll apologize to Martinez. I'll pay whatever fine you want. Just don't make me work where every cop in the city will see me. Mr. Thompson, 30 minutes ago, you told me that officers who don't show proper respect deserve to have their careers destroyed. Now you're begging for special consideration. I was wrong. I was completely wrong. I respect police officers. Judge Caprio isn't swayed. Mr. Thompson, your remorse is noted but unconvincing, given that it only appeared after consequences were announced. Judge Caprio delivers his final blow. In addition to your community service and driving suspension, you're ordered to speak at high schools throughout the district about the dangers of privilege and corruption. You'll tell students exactly what happened here today and explain how your sense of entitlement nearly destroyed your father's reputation. Cody stares in absolute horror. Public speaking in front of teenagers about how I messed up? They'll record everything and put it online. Mr. Thompson, if you're concerned about public embarrassment, you should have considered that before threatening a police officer on body camera. This is cruel and unusual punishment. You're trying to humiliate me. Judge Caprio's response is devastating. Mr. Thompson, humiliation is what you attempted to inflict on Officer Martinez. Justice is what you're receiving now. As the bailiffs get ready to escort Cody out, Judge Caprio gives his final words. Mr. Thompson, you came in thinking your father's position made you untouchable. You threatened an officer for doing his job and only showed remorse after facing consequences. Now you're leaving with a suspended license, community service at the police station, and mandatory talks where you'll explain to students why privilege without responsibility leads to disgrace. Cody Thompson came to court expecting special treatment because of his family name. Instead, he leaves with a year of Saturday mornings spent filing evidence reports under the supervision of the officers he tried to intimidate. Within hours, the body camera footage goes viral. Cody becomes a symbol of privilege and corruption. His father, Chief Thompson, publicly supports Judge Caprio's sentence and says his son's actions go against everything the department stands for. Sometimes the most important lessons about authority come from serving the people you once thought were there to serve you. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you enjoy stories like this, you can check out the other videos on my channel. See you in the next video. Stay healthy.